Now, it wasn't just Australia that was impressed by your performances as a judge, it was also Simon Cowell. Dannii might have made it as a judge on Australia's Got Talent, but becoming a success in Britain was going to be an altogether tougher ask.
You know, Dannii really had to come into it and prove who she was and kind of prove her worth.
Right from her X Factor debut, her critics were out to get her.
Some people thought, why has she got the job?
People always assume that she hasn't done as much as her sister, so there's that assumption that maybe her sister should be the judge.
And to make matters worse, not everyone on the show welcomed her with open arms either.
You can look at it as it was a desperate measure from an older woman who was not as attractive as the younger woman that's come in.
It's like being the new girl at school, isn't it? And then one of the big girls comes along and, you know, puts you in your place.
After that eventful series, Sharon decided to leave.
When Cheryl joined the show, suddenly the press all jumped on and said, oh, you know, Danni's going to hate it because, you know, Cheryl's younger and pretty. And Dannii was like to me, I don't care who it is, as long as it's not Sharon.
But the arrival of Cheryl only seemed to add to the pressure on Dannii, and everything came to a head during an on-screen bust-up with fellow judge Louis Walsh over a choice of song.
And Dannii, you did nick their song, but it doesn't matter. They were fantastic.
No way! We work on a rota system. We get first pick a song every week.
They have wanted to rule the world from day one.
I don't complain.
Right, guys, let's not get into recrimination proceedings.
There was a fight, and it kind of spilled out on camera.
Next into the spotlight, the Ogres again, and Dannii. Who's up, Dan?
It's horrible when you see any of your friends cry, so you do want to run up and give them a hug and make sure they're okay.
I felt broken, to be quite honest. I hate seeing Dannii upset for whatever reason. It wasn't just one thing. I think it was a build-up of everything, you know, throughout the series, throughout what has been written in the paper. It was just a real tough time at work for that year.
This season, she's finally put her troubles behind her and has been voted the most popular judge on the programme.
This year, with Dannii, I'm not quite sure why everybody has just cottoned on to something that I knew all along. And I find it really annoying when everybody's like, wow, Dannii this year, isn't she brilliant? I'm like, she always was, you know.
I think it's nice that she's finally getting the recognition and the credit that she deserves.
The one episode from last year, I'd never watched that one back where I was crying. I just couldn't. So I was a bit shocked to see that.
Why did you lose it then, do you think?
It sounds so stupid now when you look at it, and it was all over, who stole a song? But at the time, like Chris said, it was just a build-up of everything. And I just felt like, within my character, it's so much about what is right and wrong. I don't care about bad headlines or someone having an opinion of me, but saying something that isn't true, that I wouldn't do, is something I do get upset about.
Of all the people in the world to be upset with, Louis Walsh would be about the last person. I mean, he's probably the nicest man on the planet.
He wasn't nice those few weeks, I tell you. There were some colourful words coming out of my dressing room backstage.
When you first joined the judging panel, it was a fairly controversial appointment. Now, Noel Gallagher even said, if there's one person in the room who wouldn't know talent if it kicked them in the arse, it's Dannii Minogue. What did you feel when you heard him say that?
I was surprised he knew who I was. But there are a lot of articles written to say, why does she have the right to be there? And I kind of just said to everyone, I agree with you. I don't know if I can do this, but it's an ace job, and I'll just have a go and see what happens, and if I'm no good, get rid of me.
There were, to put it mildly, some tricky moments when you first came on the show, and with Sharon Osbourne in particular. And I interviewed Sharon in this very hot seat. And
Which I've never seen,
I know
by
you've
the
never
way.
seen this.
I've heard clips of that, but you're about to show me?
So because you missed it, we thought we'd show you a few of the highlights. I mean, do you want to see this?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Let's clear it up once and for all, because I'm sure everyone here, like me, wants to know. What's the truth about why you left X Factor?
I left X Factor because of Dannii Minogue.
Why?
I didn't enjoy working with her at all.
What you're saying is it was a very real conflict between you. You really hated each other.
See, I didn't hate her because hatred is very close to love. It takes a lot of emotion, and I don't have that time for her. She'd just dismiss her. She's like an insect. She was like an insect, a mosquito. You know when you're on holiday and you keep bloody itching it and you're going, won't it go away?
What is your reaction to that?
You know what? I was so wanting to meet Sharon when I got to be on the show. I'd watched the Osbournes, I'd watched all the X Factor, I was a massive fan. And it couldn't have been more devastating to turn up day one at work and it was pretty obvious she didn't want me there and I didn't know why. And then it was just ups and downs from then throughout the season, and I tried with her because on paper it looked like fun. Working with Sharon Osbourne, yes! In reality, tiptoeing around, it was tough at times, and I hate to think that someone who was the massive star of the show left because of me.
The dynamic of the panel completely changed. I mean, Simon was suddenly flirting with you, and you were much younger, and you were pretty, and all the rest of it. I could see why that would unsettle Sharon.
I think it unsettled all of them, and I think that was the point. I didn't want to upset people, but it was to shake the show up in general, and it did. It provided that pantomime that was beyond real.
What do you feel about Sharon now?
I admire a lot of things that she's achieved. I don't always admire the way she behaves, and I always wanted to meet Ozzy Osbourne, but I guess that's out of the question.
How competitive are you personally, do you think? You see, on X Factor now, you are a ruthless, competitive machine, aren't you?
Ruthless?
I asked Simon, I said, who's the most competitive? He went, oh, my God, Dannii. He said, she's unbelievable.
It is not. I think Simon and Louis are the most competitive, but they're jealous that I work hard with my artists and I have a close bond with them and all of that other stuff that I do.
So you come out with all this guff about I work with my artists, I made the best one win and all that kind of thing. Underneath it, you're thinking, I want to screw Carl Walsh into the ground and I want them to land on Cheryl Cole, right?
No!
Yes!
No!
Be honest here, when Cheryl Cole was announced as the new judge, what the press latched onto very quickly must have been what was also a fear of yours, which is Simon up to his old tricks. He brings in this much younger, very pretty pop star, plonks her next to him. You're getting the Sharon treatment. He's being mischievous again.
I think there was some hope or wish that I would turn into Sharon and rip off the eyelashes and the shoes and start swearing and walk out of the studio, but it's just not me.
Would you say you're good friends or not really?
I say we're work colleagues. She's gorgeous, she's adorable at work, she is what you see on the TV, that's genuinely her. But I don't have her phone number, we don't call each other, we don't hang out, but I don't hang out with the other judges either.
You normally are the consummate professional, and then a couple of weeks ago, you got caught up in a right old firestorm